I think he can compete there. You know, in high school he caught a lot of balls. He's a wide receiver type. He's a great body type. He's kept himself in great shape, and he's in a little bit of a log jam on the defensive side of the ball, and we feel like he can help us on offense.
What happened to James Johnson?
He dislocated his wrist yesterday, so hopefully we can get him back sooner rather than later. Jamal Kearse has a stress fracture in his tibia, in his shin, so again, another guy we hope to get back sooner rather than later. The rest of the guys you didn't see much of today, we were just resting them. So, Austin, Kaysen, those types of guys.
How is it to get Shaq back?
It's great. He's an impact player, as soon as he comes back, another pick six, he's just that type of guy. He's got great instincts, great IQ for the game. It's good to have him back.
How much of that is instincts and how much of that is just pure closing speed? I mean, he jumped that route so fast.
I think it's both, quite honestly. I think he's got the instincts, and then his closing speed allows him to go make those plays. And, that's what makes him unique, and so it's great to have him back. He got a lot of valuable reps today, and we'll continue to as we move forward.
Seems like walk-on lineman Michael Knipe has been getting working his way up the depth chart a little
Well,
bit.
we've been playing all those young kids, and Michael's another one of them. And, whether it was Eldrenkamp or Brostick or Dean, to get Corey English going, to get him healthy going out there. I mean, all of our young linemen have been progressively working their way in more and more and more, which is a really good thing.
You've been going hard pretty solidly here. Was this kind of a reward? It's a little shorter practice.
A little bit. We had a very specific plan for today's practice. A lot of work in the red zone, down in by tight red zone work to try to take a little bit of the stress off their legs. We've been going hard. We gave a couple of the guys a day off today. Obviously the heat and all the things that go into it. This just felt right. We've got come back with a double day tomorrow. So we're going to go jump in the lake.
Literally?
Huh?
Literally?
Literally.
Right here?
Right here.
How was Are you concerned about running back depth? I mean, it does take a hit a little bit there.
Yeah, but we know who our primary backs are. We have to be smart in how we practice. I think we know how to do that. Obviously, there's opportunities for guys to emerge and to do things. I think Desden Petty has come on the last week. I've talked about Eric Wilson at length about what he's done so far in camp. So, again, it's not ideal, like a couple other positions we have on our roster, but something that we just have to monitor. But I feel good about the guys that we have.
Would it change decisions? Jesse's one of your better kick returners as well. Would that change, some?
I don't think so. Again, football's football, and you're gonna take some hits and all that. I think we have some capable returners, and we just have to see them continue to return. I mean, Jadon Mickens, Shaq Thompson, Marvin Hall, those types of guys are good kick returners as well. So if they prove that they can handle that, then they'll be back there as well.
Is Cruz pretty much locked down the kicking job?
Yeah, he looks great. He's been tremendous, and and I think we like what Corey's doing in the punting game. Just got to get his consistency right.
It seemed like Derek got a lot of work with the second team at the quarterback there. How's he progressing?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It seemed like Derek got a lot of work with the second team.
We're trying to, we're counting reps like crazy every day, and certain days are designed for certain guys, and today was kind of Derek's day to get extensive work there, and I think Derek has done some really nice things. He's improved in a lot of areas. That it's again the consistency for Derek, of understanding it. And that's part of the progression of being a young quarterback and progressing through the process of, okay, this is his second full camp. Things should come a little easier to him. So, I've been, for the most part, impressed with what he's done. There's been some areas that we need to continue to work on.
Areas you're most happy with, but you're approaching the halfway point.
I would say that our passing game offensively, the receiving core, I'm pleased with those guys, including the tight ends. A lot of playmaking ability within that group, the tight ends, the wideouts. Very pleased with the two lead backs. I thought they've had tremendous camps so far, not only running the football, catching the ball out of the backfield for pass protection. What we're doing from a pass rush standpoint defensively, obviously what Josh brings, what Danny Shelton has done, I mean, those guys have done a nice job collapsing the pocket. The play in the back end of our front line DBs has been good to me. And probably the biggest pleasant surprise, I thought they'd be good, but I think they're having a very good camp as our offensive line. Some guys have really taken a step from spring ball till now. I think Micah Hatchie, I don't know if today was his best day, but I think he's really shown a great deal of improvement. Ben Riva's another guy. So a lot of positives, but areas of concern. Obviously, some depth at linebacker right now, of where we're at there. The depth at tight end isn't ideal, but we like the players there. The depth at running back, again, isn't ideal. Who's going to really solidify that second corner spot and take that thing over on the other side of True? And then finalizing what we're doing in the return game of who's going to be back there and getting all that done. So we have time. We've instilled a lot of the things that we need to get done up until this point. But that's why training camp's really 4 weeks long. Is you keep utilizing all those days so that you can continually get better. And you don't have to put it all in the first week or the first 2 weeks. You have time to get it done.
When Eric Kohler comes back, does he just kind of slide in back at guard? Or?
We'll probably be rotating guys around. If the weather keeps up the way it is for us here, our first game's going to be a warm one. And so to think just 5 guys are going to play, probably not realistic. We're going to probably rotate some guys. And then obviously week 2, going down to Baton Rouge, we have to be prepared to do that then as well. So we'll probably have a pretty good 7 to 8 man rotation working those first few weeks of the season.
Is there a timetable for Carson Johnson yet, or
I don't know enough right yet. They happened obviously in last night's practices pretty late, so it's hard to get everything done by now. So hopefully I have more information for you guys tomorrow.
You mentioned you liking the receiver depth. Obviously James being out maybe hurts that a little bit, but you feel confident with the other guys
we
that are
got some
there?
pretty quality guys. Obviously Kaysen's had a great camp up to this point. Jadon has had an impact. Kendall Taylor's had an impact. You have the reliable guys in DeAndre Campbell and Cody Bruns that are there. We have some guys that are close to being those types of guys in Marvin Hall. Looking forward to get Jamal Jones back, and then obviously when we get James back, it's a deep group and it's a talented group. So I'm not nearly as concerned at that spot as maybe some of the other ones.
And Andrew Hudson, what have you liked about him inside? And maybe to some people he seems a little undersized when you just look at what his weight is up on the sheet of paper. Anyway.
He's a really strong guy. He's up to 250. He plays with amazing effort reminiscent of Daniel Taylor-Neshheim. Guy that just goes as hard as he can every snap and does things right, and his effort is what continually allows him to make plays that maybe most guys don't make. With that size, he's an extremely strong young man, so he's able to use his strength. He was a tremendous wrestler in high school, so he understands leverage and pad level, and he uses all that to his advantage.
Jadon seems a little bit more advanced than your typical freshman.
Yeah. He does it every day. He's got a great feel for the game. Football matters to him. He studies it. He works at it. There's not much more important to him than coming out here and doing things right and making plays. He loves the game, and that's what you want in guys, and he exhibits all of that.
What have you seen out of Austin so far as being a guy who kind of replace some Jermaine and Devin's production?
A really good player. You know what, Austin? He's committed himself to it. He's matured since last season and obviously spring. The work ethic, the willingness to block, the playing with better effort. When the ball's not coming his way, all of that has improved, and he's still making plays on the ball when we're throwing it to him. And so all of that's been great. He's practiced really, really hard and really, really well the first week of the half, and he deserved a day to kind of relax.
How much better has he gotten as a blocker since last season?
A bunch. It's just technique alone, and then effort second. He's improved that much. He's using the proper footwork, hand placement, and he's doing it with really good effort. And so all of that has added up to him doing well.
Steve, the stuff like jumping in the lake, was that spontaneous? Is that stuff you calculate? Okay, dog days you can't.
I thought about it walking out here. It was hot. I just felt like, man, the water looked good. I wanted to jump in. I was doing it regardless. So,
When do you? But on that, as a coach, first-time coach, when do you crack the whip? When do you know to crack the whip, or when do you know when to give them?
I think every team's different. I think that you have to try to learn your team and understand what buttons to push at what time. This is a very close football team. They love hanging together. They love doing things together. I probably could have said, hey, if you want to, you could jump in the lake, and they all would have jumped in. They just kind of are that way. That's how they're wired. And I appreciate that about them. They give us everything we ask of them, every chance that they get, and they go for it. And I'm grateful for that we have a football team that has that willingness.